What's up, YouTube? Doing a review of a DVD I just picked up. I'm gonna mute my TV. King of Queens was on. But, doing a review of DVD I picked up. It's Money in the Bank 2015. And I'll probably do some other reviews, on other stuff, but I just recently watched this one, and to be honest, this event was horrible. Like, people say Fastlane wasn't a good show, but I think this event just was worse than this. And I know I did a prediction video of the matches, and I already knew who was going to win the matches before I even watched this. I just didn't know whether or not if the matches were good or anything. But I watched it like earlier today and felt I needed to do a review. Pretty much there was only like one good match on here, and I think any wrestling fan that has seen this event knows which match that was. But let's just get on with the review. Like I said, this event sucked. The first match was the Money in the Bank contract ladder match. Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus versus Kane versus Neville versus Kofi Kingston. Now, seeing Sheamus winning the match was like a real disappointment. Like, I mean, if they weren't going to go with Roman Reigns, anybody else could have won that. Shoot, I would have been happy if Kofi Kingston had won it. I mean, since Sheamus' return, he hasn't really done anything. But to be honest with this match, I think Sheamus winning was a last-minute decision. I mean, because they were building Roman Reigns up for this as going into this event. Like, they were building him up, and during the match, like, the fans were booing him. I noticed. Like, the fans were just booing the hell out of him. Like what they were doing at WrestleMania. Like, they were cheering him leading up to this event, but on this night, they booed him. Like, they did not want to see him win it. So I think, to be honest, the Bray Wyatt interference was a last-minute thing. Like, WWE noticed that they were booing Roman Reigns, and if they had Roman Reigns win, the fans were going to be really unhappy. So they chose to have him get screwed over again, which I really don't like about that. And, but yeah, the match itself, the ladder came into play a little bit. I mean, ladders were used. Just the fans were like really weird, and stuff. Not everyone got their big moments that they deserved. Like, Dolph Ziggler didn't really get any big moments that I noticed. Neville didn't get as many as I figured he would. Shoot, to be honest, going into this event, I thought they were either going to go with Roman Reigns or go with Neville. But they didn't go with either one of those two. But, Neville had some good moments. Not enough. Kofi Kingston, pretty much what he does when the bell rings is everybody goes after each other, and they don't really pay much attention to Kofi. And so the first thing Kofi does is gets a ladder and sets it up and tries to climb, and everybody turns around and looks at him, and they all have that same look, like, what the hell are you doing? So they all go after him and start attacking him, and everybody's like taking turns climbing up the ladder, pulling each other off over and over and over for probably for at least good 2-3 minutes, maybe. But Roman Reigns, he got that that thing where he jumps over the top rope. That new move that he has. But the fans weren't really behind him. The commentary was saying that they were chanting New Day sucks, but to me it sounded like they were chanting New Day rocks. For whatever reason, which I actually like the New Day, but that's what it sounded like to me. Of course, they were behind Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler and Neville. It sounded like they were behind Sheamus just a little bit, and then all of a sudden, for just a split second, and then they started booing him again. With the famous "You look stupid" chants. And, but yeah. But everybody gets a little something in. Kane, not that much. I didn't really see him get that much in. I thought Neville could have got a lot more in. Randy, I think he hit at least one RKO, I think. I watched this several hours ago, so I don't remember much about it. So Roman Reigns, he's the only one in the ring, and he sets up the ladder, climbs up the ladder, and then Bray Wyatt appears. Lights go out. They come back on. Bray Wyatt's in the ring and just shoves the ladder out from under Roman and hits Sister Abigail. So that was it. You realized Roman Reigns wasn't going to win that one, which I was disappointed. Sheamus goes in, sets up the same ladder, and starts to climb it. Neville comes in, and really the way that Sheamus just threw him off wasn't anything. It kind of looked like he might have shoved his thumb in Neville's eye and then pushed him off. And that was it. And then he climbed, then he got the briefcase. So Sheamus won that. So that match was really downhill to me. I don't have a problem with, well, I do have a problem with with who won. I just, I think they could have gone with someone else. If they weren't going to go with Roman Reigns, go with Neville. Go with Kofi. But the next match was the Divas Championship match. Nikki Bella versus Paige. This match was okay. It wasn't that bad. It's compared to other Divas matches that you get, this match was tolerable. But, towards the end of the match, both Nikki Bella and Paige are both laid out outside the ring. Paige is on one side, Nikki Bella is on the other. Brie Bella comes out from under the ring and shoves her sister under the ring. And she gets the roll up on Nikki, and Brie gets the roll up on Paige. Sorry, and then Paige is able to shift and shift the roll up and pin Brie Bella for the 3 count. And the thing about this is that any other time, the fall would have been final. They wouldn't have continued the match. But for some reason on this night, they decide to reverse the decision and have the match continue, which I thought was really stupid. I remember a couple years ago when that happened to them, and the match was still final. The result was still final. They didn't change it. They didn't restart the match or anything. They had the match final, and whoever was champion lost the title, whichever Bella was champion. I don't remember which one. Ryback, the next match was Ryback versus Big Show. Again, I actually had high hopes for this because, they were finally giving Ryback a championship, and this was like his first title defense, and it went downhill. First of all, you had The Miz on commentary, and that really was horrible. Wasn't really that long either. I think long enough for me to go into my kitchen and get something to drink and then come back. The match was pretty much over. I think Big Show shoved Ryback into The Miz, and then The Miz gets involved, attacks Big Show first, so Ryback is disqualified. So Big Show wins, but Ryback keeps the Intercontinental Championship. It wasn't really that long of a match or anything. The next match was John Cena versus Kevin Owens. This match was awesome. I am a John Cena fan, and I do like Kevin Owens. I have a lot of respect for him. But this match was just unbelievably awesome. Match of the year awesome. In my opinion. Kevin Owens ends up mocking John Cena, hitting the 5-knuckle shuffle. He tries to go for the attitude adjustment a couple of times. Doesn't get it. Shoot, what else happened? This match was so long that it's kind of hard to remember everything that happened. Should have took notes on it. I probably will for the next review that I do. But anyways, this match was totally awesome. Couple near falls. John Cena hits that new move that he has, the springboard DDT to get the win. And at the end of the match, John Cena's trying to show respect to Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens had none of it and just laid John Cena out. Attacked him, laid him out, and that was it. And I thought it was a good match. Quite honestly, I would have loved to see Kevin Owens take the U.S. title from Cena. The next match was the Tag Team Championship match. The New Day versus the Primetime Players. I didn't really pay much attention to this match at all. namely because tag team division is not good. Like, the commentary table will say that it is, but everyone knows that it's not. I mean, I don't like any of the teams except for New Day, and they're becoming stale to me. But I don't know. I think the reason I don't like the Primetime Players is because their return did not make any sense at all. Back in 2013, they were trying to give the Primetime Players a push. And this was after Darren Young admitted to being gay, which I have no problem with. But I guess a lot of people were like, on the internet was like saying that WWE is only giving the Primetime Players this push because of Darren Young. And so they ended up splitting up the Primetime Players, and they did nothing with Darren Young for like a whole year. And when they did, they put him in a match where he got beat up, and Titus O'Neil came out. Because people were complaining that they weren't doing anything for Darren Young. So I guess can't really win with the people. But ever since they reunited, I just can't get behind them like I did back in 2013. They're just not the same to me. So I was actually going with the New Day on this, and I like the New Day. But not as much as right now as I did then. Just like they're just starting to get stale to me. But this match was okay. Primetime Players end up taking the tag team titles from the New Day. Next was the main event. The ladder match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sorry about that pause, but I'm just trying to figure out what to say about this, because the main event was horrible. Like, the ladder was hardly even used. The ladder was hardly even used, people. Like, to be honest. I think the ladder was only used like once, and that was like for the bridge where it's in between the commentary table and the ring apron, and Dean Ambrose throws Seth Rollins over the top rope. And Seth Rollins goes crashing through it. And that's about it. That's about the only time that the ladder came into play. And that's it. But they set up the ladder. Both Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are climbing up the ladder. What I heard about both of them having the title unhooked to the title and Seth Rollins getting the win, when I was like, thinking that he didn't earn it, but after seeing how it happened, I'm going to give this one to Seth Rollins. He did earn that win. Pretty much they're both on the same side of the ladder. Dean Ambrose has his hand on the title. Seth Rollins unhooks it and has his hand on the title and unhooks it. They both fall off the ladder. And the impact causes Dean Ambrose to not be able to hold on to the title, and Seth Rollins is able to grab it and hold on to it, and he got the win. So that match I'll give to Seth Rollins, but the others he doesn't really seem to win on his own. But overall, I'd give this about a 3 out of 10. And that's really just for the John Cena and Kevin Owens match. I mean, but if that match was not as good as it was, probably about a half a star. Because this event was horrible. Horrible. But, comment, tell me what you guys thought of it. Comment, like, subscribe. And if you want to see more reviews, let me know. And I'll try to do, and if I end up doing other reviews, I'll try and do it better. I'll try and take some notes during the match, during the events. So, peace out.